Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tare, where I've been featuring my personal top 3,000 songs of the rock era from 1954 to 1999. And today I'm up to song number 2657, and that one is Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady by Helen Reddy. And this was released in 1975, went to number 8, and it was also released on her album of the same title, Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady, which I believe came out the previous year, 1974. And I'll get into Helen Reddy in a minute. First, I want to talk a little bit about this song. Here's a picture of Helen Reddy in case you're interested. And the song was originally written by another woman. It was Harriet Schlock. Here's a picture of her. I think she wrote it in 1974, but her version flopped. She also recorded it, and her version flopped. And I'm not sure why it flopped. Maybe just because she wasn't all that popular. I really don't know. But the song is about it's kind of a breakup song. It's sort of a women's lib breakup song, I'd say. It's about a woman whose lover doesn't really love her. He loves himself. He's a narcissist, and that's what she's singing about. There's a one-way love affair. I don't really feel like you love me. You're not treating me like a lady, so probably we should break up. That's basically all the song says. And not a bad song. Not one of my favorites of Helen Reddy. I have several other of her songs coming up later on my list. And now I'm just going to talk about Helen Reddy. So I think Helen Reddy was a really excellent artist, by the way. And she died just a few years ago. She was born in 1941 in Melbourne, Australia. She died in 2020, just 4 years ago in Los Angeles. And she was a child star in Australia. She was very popular in Australia. She got her start in music, I believe, at age 4. And the way she became a kind of an international star was she won a contest on Australian TV show called Bandstand, not to be confused with American Bandstand. I suppose it was the Australian version of that show. I'm not sure, but she won a contest which involved a free trip to the United States. So she took it. She moved to the United States. She started out in New York, and this was 1966. I guess she was still a young woman, like 24 or 25, and she didn't really make it in New York at first. She moved to a couple other cities in America. She moved to Chicago and then to finally Los Angeles. And then she had her breakthrough hit in 1971. That was I Don't Know How to Love Him, which was featured in the very popular Broadway show Jesus Christ Superstar. I believe it was sung by Mary Magdalene in that play, and Yvonne Elliman, I believe, was the actress who played it on Broadway. I love Yvonne Elliman's version, by the way. I think she sings it just with amazing passion. I mean, Helen Reddy's version is good too, and hers is actually coming up on my list. I didn't put Yvonne Elliman's on because it wasn't a hit, even though I think I like the way she sings it better. But anyway, enough of that. That was her first hit, and I guess now I'll just go through her hits. So like I mentioned, that was her first hit. I Don't Know How to Love Him, which went to number 13 in 1971. That was followed up later that year by Crazy Love, which went to 51, and No Sad Song, which went to 62. In 1972, she had her biggest hit, I think. It was her first number one. It was called I Am Woman, which was a big women's lib anthem. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with that one. She even used it as a kind of a campaign song for the ERA when they were trying to ratify the ERA in the 80s, but unfortunately it failed. But anyway, enough of that. And then 1970. Oh, but I should say one more thing about I Am Woman. That was coming up much, much later on my list. You won't see me profile it for another 6 or 7 years. So might as well tell you this story. She won an a Grammy for that song, and then when she accepted the Grammy, she said she wanted to thank her manager for making her success possible, and finally she wanted to thank God because she makes everything possible. I mean, if as if "I Am Woman" wasn't controversial enough for the day, that was very controversial for a woman to say that in 1973. But I don't have any problem with it. I mean, even the Kabbalists in the early Middle Ages thought that God had as many female properties as male properties. So why shouldn't God be a woman, right? Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, then in 1973, she had a song called Peaceful, which went to number 12. Later that year, she had her second number one, Delta Dawn. Then she had Leave Me Alone, Ruby Red Dress, which went to number three. In 1974, she had Keep On Singing, which went to 15. You and Me Against the World, which went to 9. And her third number one, her third and final number one, Angie Baby, which went to number one. Might as well give you a little bit more trivia. The guy who wrote Angie Baby was a guy named Alan O'Day. He had a number one hit himself in 1977 called Undercover Angel. That one's also coming up much later on my list, by the way, around the same position as I Am Woman. I'm not going to give any more details than that, but I did really love that song when it came out when I was a teenager, even though a lot of people don't really like it. But anyway, 1975, she had a song called Emotion, which went to number 22. Bluebird, which went to 35. The song I'm featuring today, Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady, which was her last top 10. I believe that went to number 8. And then she had Somewhere in the Night, which went to 19. And then in 1976, she's had I Can't Hear You No More, which went to 29. You're My World, which went to 18. In 1977, she had The Happy Girls, which went to 57. In 1978, she had Ready or Not, which went to 73. In 1979, she had Make Love to Me, which went to 60. In 81, she said I Can't Say Goodbye to You, which went to 88. And finally, in 1991, she had Voices That Care, which went to 11. So very successful singer. I really like Helen Reddy. Probably one of my favorite female performers. Anyway, so I guess that completes my profile on "Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady" by Helen Reddy. Thank you for watching. You guys rock, and I'll see you next time. Bye.